of Weeki Springs. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that, but it's along the Gulf Coast. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's typically where all of the manatees kind of go during the winter and springtime because it's warmer. So I'm just sitting there, and I thought it was a rock, so I was kind of like steering my kayak a little bit around it. I didn't want to get beached up on it. Um, and then I noticed it moved. I'm like, well, that's interesting because rocks don't move. And I just kind of like followed it, and it stuck its little snout out, and it was cute because whiskers like a little cat like sticking out of the water, and then it went back in and went along its merry way. And they're huge and terrifying when you come up. Like they're giant. It was as big as my kayak. I've never seen one up close like that before. So that was kind of magical. And then I told my kids about it, and then of course they didn't believe me. And I'm like, well, maybe if you guys weren't so out of shape and you were catching up to me, then you'd fucking see one too, huh? So they had fun. Obviously not as much fun as I did, but it was cool. Florida was nice. It's gorgeous there right now. Not too hot, not too cold.
Yep.
So
That's that time of year to be down there because, like, in the summertime, holy shit. Hey, are we on? Okay, because I can't find the live. I'm trying to send the live link to Kelly, and
I just posted it on your post.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put it on.
Yeah, for some reason it's not popping up on the live, but if you go to Helltown, it's on there, and I will post it again in a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. So Florida was nice. I usually try to get down there in the spring because, like, by the time winter is over here, my seasonal depression is so bad. Like, woo, depression is a doozy, but this ass is hella juicy. I had a good time though, and
Hell yeah.
I was able to get that vitamin D and like
get
a
really?
little cheery. Yeah. Well, no, unfortunately, not that vitamin D. It was definitely dry in that area. But,
there was a drought.
It's all right. It's all right.
There was a drought on the Okeechobee.
Yeah, it's okay. I wasn't looking for it, so there's that too.
Yeah, when you're searching for the pink python of South Florida.
I mean, there's not much to choose from down there. I'll be honest. Like, what's in Florida? Floridians.
It's a bunch of Tiger King boyfriends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, hey, Tiger King's my homeboy.
I love Florida, man. Like I enjoy the feral.
Yeah.
I like the feral and familiar part of the people there. We went. This is what happened to me. I was with my dad and my nephew, and we went to the Home Depot to get some stuff because my dad was building some shelves or some shit. And we go to the Home Depot, and there's this dude up front, and he's hustling hot dogs. And he's got a little hot dog stand. And my little nephew, he lives in London. He's very prim and proper. And he's like, Uncle dude, can we get a hot dog? I'm like, yeah, we get a hot dog, dude. Let's go get a hot dog. And I'm like, come on, granddad, let's go get a hot dog. So me, my nephew, my dad, we go over to this dude. And the first thing I noticed is he's wearing a very expensive Rolex. And I'm like, okay. I was like, this is interesting. He's wearing a New York Yankees hat. And he's got his like nice polo on. He's got it unbuttoned down. He's got the Italian horns hanging out. And he's like, hey, what's up? What's going on, guys? You coming over to get a fucking hot dog or something? And I'm like, I was like, so just jokingly, I'm like, oh, you must be a native. And he's like, well, let me tell you something about me. All right, I'm from New York. And I'm like, no. Get out of here. But then this is where it gets interesting. And god damn, if I can't remember his name, and if I could, then I would talk about it because this is very funny. So we're talking to him. He's like, he's like, yeah, I moved down here because I'm in the witness protection program. I killed a mob boss with my bare hands. And he's like, I wrote a book about it. I just got out of the federal penitentiary for doing it, all this shit. And it was like, this is the first 3 sentences that we're talking to this dude. And I'm, being in the restaurant business and being just the weirdo I am, I'm not fazed by it. So I'm like, that's fascinating. It was like, what's the name of your book? And I'll look at I'm sure if I look at my search history, it'll like come up. But And so he lo and behold, he's got a book out and he's legit. I mean, the story checks out. This motherfucker killed a mob boss with his bare hands. Yeah, but it was just a very interesting.
But he's in a protection program.
With
And he just told you everything. Like you could have been a hitman. You could have been there to take him out, and he would have never been. He would have been clueless.
I'm flattered that you give me the credit that I could have the potential of being a hitman, because I think when people see me roll up, they're like, "Oh shit." They're like, is the weed smoking Barney Rubble?
I mean, it's always the unsuspecting, like unassuming nice guy, and then all of a sudden he just pulls out his Glock and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like,
I've accepted I just look like somebody's dad showing up for a fucking school meeting.
Well, it's the nice.
That's because
you wear nice collared shirts and you have sensible. You're sensible. You give off a sensible vibe.
Let me tell you guys, listening, I ain't got no sense right now.
He's all sense, man.
Dollars a sense.
His pants are still on. I mean, that's how much sense he's still.
That's because we got these cameras. Now I can't walk around here with my drawers on.
I thought about it. I think we should have a show where we have to everybody better put on your best undies, and we come out here and we do it.
Nah, I got you beat. Everybody's gonna wear see-through Mylar pants.
Oh my god. I mean, I have a few outfits, but I think it'd be distracting for everybody involved.
Speaking of distracting, have you guys seen the new next Olympics Nike outfits for the women?
No.
They're wearing basically bikinis to run in for all the track and field events, but they're high cut on the inside of the crotch. So these girls are like, I'm really afraid my labia are going to fall out when I'm running.
Who designs this shit?
They said
they just have some asshole in the back.
So the people on the team, male and female, were like, yo, this is giving us a little bit of anxiety. And Nike was like, we consulted athletes.
What athletes?
Yeah, exactly. Not the ones that are going to be wearing.
Probably all the dudes.
He was like, yeah, dude, make it really tight around the vagina. Yeah. That makes you more aerodynamic.
No, a reverse thong.
They're designed so that once they hit the finish line, that they just that the labia shoots out like a parachute.
I think they're really probably trying to
drag shoots.
They're trying to compete.
The shape. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. The dudes are wearing basically biker shorts to mid thigh and almost like a wrestling singlet.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because but the women, women have always worn shorter shorts in the bottoms department, but usually it'll be like a boy short type bottom, and then almost like a tank top.
Right.
And and they do want less drag. But I don't know if putting less material on the crotch of an athlete is going to make them move faster.
Yeah. I think it would definitely, after a few meters, you'd be like, kind of burns right now. Ooh. Yeah, for sure.
I think they should just go buck naked. That's it. They just put
the real Olympics.
Just titties flapping all
so
over.
You know what's fucked up? So the first Olympics, they always talked about how a lot of the athletes were naked during the first Olympics, the original Greek Olympics, running.
Really?
But you know what's the most awkward? So they didn't have as many events as we have now, obviously. It was various track and field events.
Hey, George.
But wrestling
was real quick. I checked it, and a couple people hit me up, and they said that it's saying the owner of this video has granted you you need to sign in for something to get on see the clip.
All right, let me see what I can do.
Sorry, babe. Before we kick ass.
The video is up, but let me see what I can do to make sure.
Yeah.
Keep talking about wrestling naked.
Yes, not a problem.
I mean, I'd watch it. I don't know if I would participate.
Well, I think it would be very interesting to see. It's like that show Naked and Afraid, right?
I've watched that one,
we're part of the element of it being difficult is that you're naked.
So,
So can you imagine being exposed, just having that be a psychological element of the.
I mean, for me, I don't care because my motto is you're born naked, and if you're really fucking lucky, you'll die naked too. It's it's just the way it is. A body is a body. They all each part of our body serves some sort of biological purpose. So, for me, I don't care. Yeah. I can see why it can be jarring for people, feeling vulnerable and nude. So the premise of that show, are they required to stay naked, or can they
I think they gotta stay buck ass naked.
Okay, like, because I can imagine like
Well, that's so I
people
think
trying to make like underwears with like palm leaves. And
they
shit.
should come out with a buck ass naked sports league. You know, a buck ass naked sports league, and then you could see like really this is where being a hoe would really come into play. Like strippers, it'd be like I mean they would have just marginal advantage in the over the competition. Because I think a lot of you are gonna be worried about like how what's gonna happen. Like I would have a hard time playing baseball just because I'd be worried about my fucking.
Yeah.
Even though even though realistically the barrier that some baseball pants and a cup really provide, like I guess you'd want to have a cup on. Maybe there has to be some protection. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'd be more like worried like the contact sports like football and shit. Like your shit's gonna get ripped off eventually. Like one day. You're gonna be like running, and someone's gonna like try to tackle you, and then there's your dick. Like, you're like 5 meters away from it.
Next thing you know, some dude's got your tallywhacker spinning all about.
Got it.
Yeah, capture the flag. Capture the flag.
That would be tragic.
Yeah,
I would watch it though. I think for more for like amusement. So. Yeah.
All right, we're
sure.
back. We're back, everybody. We never really went anywhere.
Yeah. We're talking about naked sports.
Yeah, for some reason it was set
Naked.
to private. Sorry about our privates.
Yeah, we were. Well, that's funny because we were just talking about our privates.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
Not ours, but other people's.
I was talking about mine. Motherfucker got sparkles on it. Yo, this motherfucker, when the sun hits it, it's like one of them vampires from Twilight.
Twilight cock.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that shit is like
Twilight
iridescent.
penis.
It's got a spoilers of flames on it.
Ooh, extra 5 horsepower.
It's got a NASCAR number.
Got pinstripe.
Nah, that'd be gaudy. The flames,
I
the
draw
flames
the
take it
line.
home. It's a guy for
No way.
Man,
Pinstripes
Guy
are cool.
Fieri. Hey, man, my homegirl was just on Guy Fieri on his Amanda Lahoviak over at the Whole Locks.
So the whole ox was on there?
Yeah,
or just her?
She was. Like,
Oh.
yeah, they didn't bring the whole locks out. They just brought out the cow. No, I'm just kidding. I can't imagine.
Marshall is.
I can't Amanda would whoop my ass, so I don't. I try to get beat up by.
Marshall has gotten a little bit bigger.
Marshall,
in the plains and all those areas, they're building all kinds of houses out there, and like nicer restaurants are popping up. It seems like the pizzeria closed down. Now it's another place.
Yeah, they closed it. What was it? Used to be like, was it Joe's or something?
Yeah, Joe's or Anthony's. One of those.
Anthony's, Joe's, Wapanelli. No, we went down there. So the whole Locks, I try to stop by there every once in a while. I worked on and off there for like I don't know, like part of a decade. Learned a whole lot. That place was rad as shit. But Amanda, yeah, she was on the Guy Fieri. I don't know, some burger show, man. She has a burger show down with them. She went to Flavortown. I don't.
Oh, did she get anything? Did she crack the safe?
she cracked. Yeah, she's running. She ran off with Guy Fieri. It's a terrible end of the story. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so she was on that show. That's really dope.
It is weird when you see somebody that on a TV show you didn't expect. A long time ago, me and my friend from Colorado, we went to high school with this girl named Dawn, and she was a kind of masculine lesbian, and she played music, so she was just like a cool chick. And then maybe 5-10 years later, there was this show called Forgive or Forget with Mama Love or Mother Love or some shit, and like I'm sitting there up late one night, and I'm like, yo. They're like talking about this like dude, he's not comfortable with his like wife hanging out with this girl and all this other stuff. And then they're like, come on out, Dawn. And sure enough, it's a girl we went to high school with, and she was like trying to steal this dude's wife.
That's fantastic. Yes.
I was dying laughing.
That's the kind of drama I live for.
And then at the end of the show, it's forgive or forget. So, like, they open a door, and if the person's there, they forgive you. And if they're not, you didn't get forgiven. And she did not get forgiven. That door frame was empty as fuck.
Damn.
So,
yeah.
But that was strange. It was like one of those shows that they would show on like Channel 20 or Channel 5, like after
like a random.
Back when it was UPN.
Oh yeah, like it was like what comes on after the news goes off.
DC 20.
Yeah, do you remember when Channel 5 and Channel 20 had their own news, and it was it was like, well, this way shittier than the regular news.
Yeah, man, that was when Sue Palka was running things, man.
Sue Palka, like she seemed like one of the more reputable people on Fox, but you know she probably had a DUI or a coke possession charge because she was on Fox 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, yeah, Fox 5. I remember they had that one summer, and I'll never forget this. Me and my friend Troy, we always talk about it still this day. They had that promotion. It was Camp Tee Hee Ha Ha. Remember that? It was like, Tee Hee Ha Ha. Tee Hee Ha Ha. Yeah, I always remember that one.
You know what I remember from Channel 5? And a lot of people know this, but they don't know that it is from Channel 5. If you grew up Gen X in the 90s, and you know most of the time your parents were at work when you were about to go to school, it was just like a normal thing. And I would watch Channel 5 news. And we live in an area that has a lot of vineyards, so a lot of times when it gets nice outside, they're going to send people to like outings. And they sent this lady to a vineyard. And she decided to step on a bunch of grapes. Have you seen this video, Chris?
Oh.
No.
That will live in my mind because I was watching it that morning too when it happened, and it's fantastic. It's jarring, and it's like, oh my god, is she okay? But also, it's fucking hilarious.
You can look it up. It's called Grape Stomping Video or Grape Stomping Lady Falls.
All right, you ready? Give us a 30-second time. Here we go. So what's the deal here? There's a contest to stomp, and how are you measuring who does the best stomping?
And she's in it.
Yeah, she's stomping these grapes.
But it's not the only thing you can do. The measuring cups are down below, right? Measuring cups are down below. All right. And if you win, you get to stay at Chateau Milan. And what else do you have going on here? Well, if grape stomping's not your thing, you can come.
Have you ever smashed grapes before?
Not like that.
Yeah. So they're standing inside of these little buckets on top of a platform, smashing grapes as a contest to see who could fill up more.
Oh, damn, yo, she ate it. What the?
Imagine you're about to go to school, you're just eating cereal, and that happens live when you're at the breakfast table.
Stop. Like she's like trying to tell the camera guy to stop filming. She couldn't get it out because the fucking wind was knocked out of her. That shit is so, and that's forever. It's there forever on the internet now.
Dude, there's multiple videos. That whole page is nothing but people are like, y'all remember this?
I remember it.
Dude.
Pepperidge Farm, man.
It's like that grab him by the foot.
That part. That's the gold right there. Oh, no.
I like the... Yeah. It's like, remember that grab him by the pussy guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that dude.
That guy never gets old. I still watch from time to time when I'm sad. I'm like,
do they ever catch him?
Watch this.
Nah, I mean, you can't really do anything to him. Like,
Yeah.
like it's their fault for not having a delay.
Right.
Like, in all honesty, like the fine would be for them not cutting away from it. Like, if there is an FCC fine, it's not going to be attributed to him.
There's so many videos too. It's like,
well, after a certain point, it's probably like a bunch of the other ones are probably like, you know, copycats or them people, you know, letting him do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if it went to air though. If it did go to air, yeah, they probably got a fine. I don't see why you wouldn't get one.
I can't stop looking at it like, oh no.
Oh no.
She sounds like she got hurt.
The best is the white guy. He's just staring at the camera like, let's see what.
He's just like,
and
what?
she broke her shit. Oh man. Speaking of breaking shit, you guys hear what was happening in New York City like last week? We were gonna talk about it, but we just didn't. Some dude's been running up to various women, and I don't know if it's the same guy, but he's been punching them.
Yeah, and straight up in the face.
I saw a woman. It looked like she had a goose egg the size of like the beginnings. Like there was a softball inside of her head that was trying to get out. It was that big of a lump.
God damn! Like he just like fucking, wow! Like just straight up jumped into the air and punched.
Smash, smash.
Yeah, that dude was a murderer.
Well,
like,
I mean,
God, like,
did you see the follow-up show about him afterwards?
Yeah, wasn't there a Netflix thing called like the something like they blatantly say what he does, like the chopper killer or some wild shit like that.
Well, dude, he like, I mean, the whole it's when you like the whole story is just so wild. Like I was on Team Kai originally because it was sensationalized so well. Like it was there's a story you want to hear. Like here's this dude who's like down on his luck and has no money, but still has the integrity to fight against evil and do this shit. But then they say in the story, like if you like look deeper into it, like he had been smoking with this dude before, and like he might have drugged him. There's a whole lot of speculation of shit. And then the story, like the dude he killed, like the lawyer that he killed or whatever, that's super sad. That dude was really nice, and just like I think it's a little, his side of the story is a little bit far fetched or whatever. But I wasn't there, so I can't. I so like Kai said, I can't call it. I was thinking about when you were saying like when you turn on TV and you see people that you didn't you wouldn't and you wouldn't expect to see. Yeah, that was so my older sister went on a date with a dude once, a couple of dates with this dude, and he was like, she had met him at the gym. He was a really well dressed, like good looking dude, and they go out on the first date, and he drives a Porsche, like all this shit, and dude picks her up, and they go on a date, and they go and he takes her to like the Silver Diner, I think. Which, if you're like 16 years old, is cool, but like I think in your like late 40s, like.
You guys, I was literally just walking, and a man came up and punched me in the face. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. I can't even.
It hurts so bad.
That lady has a goose on the side of her head that is gigantic.
Yeah, you gotta see this. It is insane. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Is that a goose? Is it a forest goose?
Forest goose would get their asses whipped.
Look at her head, dude. Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know if I'd like record. I'd immediately.
Yeah. Like that's the one thing that I found strange about the videos. But I did attribute it to, like, women have a better ability to, like, deal with pain. They'll feel it before dudes, but they can put up with it. Yeah. Like, I know for a fact if I had a goose egg like that, I'd be like, ooh, yeah, it hurts real bad. Like, should I cut it open to get the blood out?
Right? Like, something. So I first heard about this when I was in Florida, and so this one's pretty tame, but there was one, like, interview with, like, I guess a reporter that was on the field, and of course this is showing in Florida where they just put anything on the news. So they had this one lady that was like, and then he just came out of nowhere and he punched me in the face. I couldn't even believe it. It was just, she had the most like Brooklyn, New York accent like ever, and I couldn't help but laugh hysterically. Meanwhile, my mom's like, that's not funny, that's horrible, I hope they get him. I'm like, it is kind of funny though. It is kind of funny. It's funny, but also scary, and I can see why they, a lot of people ended up, taking to social media to at least put awareness. It's not. They have one person I think arrested, but there's been several, cases where it's just random men just walking around, pissed off, angry men punching women in the face, like.
Yeah, dudes, get it together, really,
yeah,
man.
Like, come on now.
Like, it's
a bad show.
Yeah, really, dude. Come on, man. Making it tough for me, Like, I'm just trying to.
Bad show.
I know. I'm trying to just be a nice dude, and then people are like, worried if I'm gonna punch them in the face for no reason. It was like that. Remember, there was Superman punch thing was a thing, like where people were like, they'd run up and punch somebody, like jump up in the air and punch them, and like people died from that shit, man. Yeah. I mean. Great, misogynistic or not, like it's just like you can kill somebody that way. Yeah. It doesn't matter, man, woman, or child. Like you hit somebody the wrong way or the right way, whatever, however you're looking at it, you can kill them, man. And like, and I think that just like we live in such like we live in a society. We watch so many videos of people getting hurt that we never see the consequential part of it. We only see the impact, and that's it. And so we don't get to see the consequential part, and so we don't get to see the long, or we see like the immediate part. We don't see the long-term effects. It's like you look at like the dudes from Jackass now. Yeah. Those dudes are all like, man, they're beat to shit, and you're like, all those good tee-hee ha-has we have. Man, this is weird.
Sorry.
This was like, it was like, you know what I felt like? I felt like this is like one of those things like where there was a dinosaur coming up on me in Jurassic Park.
It kind of reminds me of Spaceballs with the delay.
Oh yeah.
This is now. When will now be then?
Yeah, and then he pops
yeah.
the video.
Having the cameras is a little bit more awkward.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I mean, it's gonna be an encouragement for me.
I've
to
definitely
stop eating.
I got
like,
the Peggy Bundy look going down. Like, yeah, my Peggy Bundy outfit. How y'all like it? Look at it. Ooh.
repping for my homies, the ancient apes. The ancient apes, man.
Dude, the ancient apes. I suggest this to all bands that are slinging T-shirts. T-shirt gun. I've been questing for one of those for years. It's one of the only reasons I want to make T-shirts now. And so, and it's gonna sound fucked up, but if you ever see us giving away T-shirts, I'll give you a free one if you let me shoot you with the T-shirt gun right in the chest.
Like point blank, like.
Nah, I won't catch no charges. They'll be like, oh, he shot him with a gun.
Oh yeah, that's true. So it has to be a distance.
Yeah. If it's a distance, I'm shooting you in the dick. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
I feel like
Like
shirts would be like
RoboCop
fluffy
style.
and soft, like it wouldn't really hurt. Maybe.
They're compacted. You gotta get. It has to be like.
I'm a rubber
compacted,
band the
so-
shit out of it.
Like
It's
a
gonna be
bullet.
yeah,
I'm sure like
Yeah.
at 10 feet, maybe 10 feet would be a good buffering distance.
Yeah,
so,
they shoot them in like crowds, and they usually like nobody got killed. I've never heard of like there's been a rash of deaths due to T-shirt cannons. I'll be the first one.
Yeah, George, the T-shirt gun killer.
That actually has a nice ring. Like, how'd you get to jail? I killed a nigga with a T-shirt. Oh, man.
That's perfect.
Man, like so a lot of this stuff I've read this article. There's one for the New York Times about women getting punched in New York City, and a lot of it they're bringing up like the amount of violence women have to deal with. I think I don't want to say that couldn't happen anywhere, but if you said it happened in L.A. or New York or like San Francisco or Chicago, I'm not surprised. If you say it happened in like Belmont, Texas, I'd be like, that's surprising. Just because I don't think like there's less people. I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that person's probably crazy, and there's so many people that like
Yeah,
they
he
think
was
that
able to get a lot of them before he went down.
Have they caught this guy yet?
Yeah, they did catch one guy.
Did they catch like 6 dudes in New York?
Yeah,
6?
there's 6 different incidents.
Is this a ring? They're like
that,
they had a meeting.
So
Or the slap
the
of
reason why they
tribe?
think it's different people is because the women were describing their assailants to be like they weren't matching up, so they figured out it's like
Wonder
a
if it's one of those
punching epidemic going on in New York City right
I
now.
wonder if it's like some type of phenomenon, like something on like people are doing on 4chan, like
Yeah,
that
like-
type of semi-organized bullshit, where like
A challenge,
A flash
the
mob.
punch in the face.
well, they were
challenge.
talking about like a while ago, like it might have been when like Elon Musk was buying Twitter or whatever about like fake accounts, and a lot of the fake accounts that everybody's agreed upon were more like not even troll accounts. They're accounts that will pit groups against each other. So a lot of the stuff that I've seen that they've done is, for instance, like they said, like 19 of the top 20 like Christian news sites on like Facebook are all like fake. Like it's not real. They're not real like people. It's just designed to get people worked up, and then they'll have another group. For instance, they had like I don't know what topic that it might have been like pro and anti some type of like either abortion or some hot button issue. Inside of that, like there was an organization that was having a protest on one side of the street, and the same group of people or trolls from the same like IP address got the other group to be on the other side of the street. So they were trying to like get these two groups to argue with each other. So the way I've always thought about it like this, it could be somebody with nefarious schemes, or it could just be like a regular internet troll. Because people will do that. Just get on your threads, like start arguing with people in the comments just to start an argument. Not so much that they even care about the actual thing that they're talking about. They're like, no, I really believe in this. Fuck you.
Nah, dude, I'm the administrator for What's Up for Royal Uncensored. I'm one of the administrators for What's Up for Royal Uncensored. And it is, dude, there are people that get on, they're not from here, but they like do a little bit of research so they get just enough information, and they just come and they just troll the fuck out of people, and they say the most outlandish shit to try to get people to get worked up. So this one troll, I forget what her name is exactly, but she comes on, she's like, I'm 8 months pregnant, and I just like got the itch to to strip again. I'm a stripper, and blah blah blah, knowing damn well it was gonna make some people get all like, oh, this woman needs to go to hell, and like start a whole ass thing. And it was like, and it worked like a goddamn charm. Like, and the thing that sucks is, a lot of times their shit gets flagged by Facebook for being insightful or whatever.
Yeah, my shit got flagged, and I didn't like all. I was just literally like joking, and I was like, I didn't even say anything wrong.
Oh, dude,
Fuck
you
this
can say
place.
the wrong things. Like, you can't even say the word like killed or kill. You know, like anything that has to do with killing or hurting or anything. That's why now they have all these dumb words like unalive. I don't know if you've seen that. It's
that's
like,
the dumb. Yeah, I've noticed that shit.
It's like, we know, it's like the same thing as like when you know, it's like the same thing as like, you know, saying any bad word that you're not supposed to say, but then you use some sort of other word for it. You're essentially still saying the shit, you know. Like,
yeah, I've become quite apathetic. Like I find myself like typing stuff and then deleting it because I think about it. I'm like, you know what? I just don't care. It's not that important, and then move on with my life.
It's a good policy, man. You know, don't be a dick and don't dwell. You know, I think that those are two good policies in life. I've tried not to be a dick. My sister got me this hat that says "Don't be a dick," and I've been really holding on to that mantra lately. I used to be a dick when I was in my early 20s. I was a dick when I was like, you know, when it was like,
oh yeah,
that was back when there's still all that like all that remnant like the testosterone just banging around the system.
Well, every now and again you'll think about something you said maybe like 20 years ago. You're like, whoa, I was really going for it right then. I remember one time we were at my friend Brendan's house, and one of his roommates was kind of a dick. He would like eat our food all the time. So they were like, I knew this about this dude. And in the middle of a party, people listen to like, you know, dance music. He puts on like, and I don't think this band's really bad or anything, but it was like 30 Seconds to Mars. And he sits down in his chair, and he just starts like, he closes his eyes and he's like, you know, like sort of like having his own like, I don't know, like attention grabbing, like I'm listening to this music moment. And like right when it hits like a break where there's no lyrics, I look at Brennan, I'm like, you know, thousands of men have come out to this song over the last year. The guy looked at me and was so fucking pissed. Looking back on it, probably not a good idea to say that to some dude when he's in his own house and having a good time. But yeah, I think a lot of people are like that. And you see with kids, people test out what they can do, what's acceptable, and what'll get you fucking punched. And sometimes people take it too far and they'll end up with a black eye, but sometimes people are like, a person will get mad, or you'll see somebody just like do something like wrinkle their forehead, and you're like, I can't say that. Like, you know, and I mean, people like, at least if you have those thoughts, like you've done that, you're not like that, like 65-year-old person that's like yelling at somebody for having a service dog in a Walmart. You know, like that's some video. I saw a video about that the other day. Some woman like, she went into like, I don't want to say like a Publix or something. There was a guy with a service dog, and a lot of people, they'll get into an argument whether a person should have a dog in there or not. I guess some people are really deathly afraid of dogs, or don't think people are, you know, think the service dog thing is overblown. This guy was a veteran. He had a service dog, and she was yelling at him about how he can't have a service. That's not a real service dog. All this other shit. And then the dog got excited and jumped on her, and she kicked the dog. Like, she ended up getting in trouble because, like, you know, she was like, not only is she, you know, hitting an animal, on top of that, like, she's technically like violating that dude's civil rights by fucking coming at him about like his service dog.
The dog.
Yeah. So it's definitely like, and she was old. I think she might have said she was like 76. At that point, you gotta, life is too fucking short. You're at the real fucking far end. Like every day after, like at 76 is a gift, right? Like it's harder and harder for your body to do the basic things it needs to do to live.
Right.
Like fighting
It's
against
me at
illness,
43, bro.
Well, no, like when you're like really
Like,
fighting illness, like when like a bad fall can kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, if you fall down your house, you're like, oh, hope I didn't break the table, like something like that, or you're like, but if you fucking fall when you're like 72, if you break your hip, you might be a goner. Like you're not gonna come back from that shit. Like depending on like, you know, your development of osteoporosis and all kinds of other shit. If you like, you know, like if you didn't like, you know, like as you get older, especially as men, your skeletal structure becomes weaker due to like, you know, if you don't put it under stress. So they recommend for dudes, especially men over 50, to do muscle workouts such as like, you know, like squats or anything that's load bearing, heavy load bearing, because your actual bones will be like adjust and be like, we need to be stronger. So
just don't do ditty squats.
Yeah, don't do ditty squats because then
and running your mouth doesn't count.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah, there are a lot of dudes that are like older that aren't in their prime anymore and don't take care of their bodies at all. Like that, like, you know, don't really have any muscle mass in their shoulders and will get into arguments with people when like you are a trip away from dying, old man. Like just be quiet. Like no matter what the argument's about, it could be you could be in the right. It's just better not to argue with people in public because you don't know what the motherfucker's gonna do. And depending on the state, like if you live in a constitutional carry state, everybody, any person is probably has a gun, right? Like so, it's probably best to just be like, fuck it. I got the whole rest of my day. This is probably 5 minutes at most. I'll catch myself in, especially this one place. I'm gonna go on a fucking tirade right now. Martin's, get your shit together. Every day I go to fucking Martin's, or every other day I want to get a beer. You know that line snakes around the goddamn near the produce. Y'all are fucking up. I don't care who you gotta hire. I don't care if they fucking smell like rat shit. I'll fucking put some of that fucking shit the corners put underneath their nose to go into the store. Get the lines moving. Even the self-checkout. Motherfuckers be having conversations. Y'all be running out of create your own six-pack shit, and you got too many motherfuckers shopping for other people when I'm trying to shop.
I'm not shopping.
AK,
anymore.
are you
That shit's
listening?
so fucking expensive.
AK, if you're listening,
get your shit together.
Get that
You the
done.
only
You're
Martins
not
like
there
that.
anymore. That's right. AK's not at Martins
That's probably
anymore.
why they falling to shit.
Yeah, it is.
Let me tell you this right now. If I go into your establishment and you don't have a bunch of the stuff that you usually have, and you got like a warm beer cooler, you fucking up. You know how I want my beer? Cold. Or I go someplace else that got an end cap where it's just warm. I go to Walmart. I don't want to go to Walmart.
Yeah, I don't like going there either, but
I have to.
I have to because of the price point. Like I paid almost $6 for a little tiny jar of I don't eat mayonnaise, but my dad does, and he loves it. She can't live without it.
That shit's gross.
So, yeah, like I agree.
I like
mustard.
I like
person.
mayo.
I'm partial to some
like
spicy
mayonnaise.
mustard, but that shit like the little jar was almost $6, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
How much was it at
Like-
is it at Walmart?
Walmart, you get the big jar for $6, not the little ass fucking jar.
Yeah, like
I was like, what is going on? And then bread was like, it was almost $4 a loaf.
yeah, like so like
Like,
bread.
what is going on?
I haven't noticed two things price increases. I know when everybody was getting really mad about the price of eggs, I always bought like those free range eggs because they had like the golden yolk, and I just think they taste better. It's not like watery, so I've always bought those eggs. And then I usually get, if I get bread, I get that keto bread, so it's like $4 a loaf anyway. But I have noticed, I actually took note of it today. Even the store brand bread at Walmart was, I think, like $2.20 or something.
Yeah, insane.
And bread used to be like 50 cents, buy one, two. You know, like that shit goes bad if you like don't put it in a bread box.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you know, that's sign of the times, man.
Is flour more expensive now?
No, I think it's just like because people
Everything.
are like relying on cheaper staples of food, which would include sandwiches. So anything that would like bread,
Demand.
mayonnaise, like lunch meats are astronomical. Like you can get like maybe a quarter.
But the price
kind
of
of
the
like
TV is
cheese
cheap as
for-
shit now.
Yeah.
I saw a
meat.
65. I
yeah.
saw a 65-inch fucking Samsung for like $220 or $260. Like
Yeah.
that's fucking like. I bought one like 3 years ago, and it was probably like I don't know, close to $400, $500. Now they're just giving them shits away. If you bought a 19-inch TV right now, you could probably get it for like they will pay you to get it out of the truck. They're like, can you clean up the cardboard with it, and you can have it.
Yeah, man. Schul's has a banger 85-inch TV for $8.99.
Ooh.
Yo, fuck that
80.
Black Friday.
Bigger.
That shit's gonna
I
be
have a
$5.
75-inch, so
That's a big.
Brag
TV.
about it, why
God
don't
damn.
you?
yeah, I do.
Big old TV.
75
I got a big old TV.
inches. I even got the fancy
I like to watch BBC on it.
the Gobi lights, and I named it laser beams. Freaking laser beams on my phone, so I can put
Laser
freaking laser beams, and then I'll have like a backlight on my TV, and it looks awesome. I forget that I have it, and then I'll watch the movie, and I'm like, oh, this would have been good in red backlight. I barely use it, but it's nice to have. It's kind of neat. Thanks, COVID. I bought it with my COVID bucks.
I was thinking the other day when I was driving into DC, And I wish COVID would come back. There's too many of you motherfuckers around. Just lollygagging. Just driving just to drive. Don't drive just to drive. Don't do it anymore. Put an embargo on it. At least inside the Beltway. Don't just do that. I saw a dude in a tracksuit just driving on 66 smiling. If you were smiling while you're driving on 66, fuck you. I don't think I've smiled once on that goddamn road. Not once.
Well, maybe he's killed his wife.
Yeah, he's like, I just did it. I'm finally free.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive to Mexico.
Yeah, I think that's like my inclination now, given all these like true crime things that I watch on TV at home. It's like between Catfish and all like another 48 hour. What is it? 48. The first 48.
Oh, dude, those ones are sad.
Cold Case Files. I would watch this new one called New York Homicide that's produced by Dick Wolf, and it's
big old Dick Wolf.
Dude, he is the big old Dick Wolf.
Big old Dick Wolf.
The cop.
Hey, you ever heard about somebody getting raped with a broomstick?
Watch
Dick Wolf was
Dick Wolf production.
Yeah, done out now.
I watched all of them.
Yeah,
So
they,
good.
dude. Yeah, but I watched those. Between that and Catfish, I think I've got like a Netflix degree in criminology. I think that I can solve a crime. Like we were talking about, a friend of ours was trying to say that he's friends with a certain celebrity, and I'm not gonna say any details because we're living in a small town and I'm gonna do some bullshit. But he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna get this dude to come be on the radio. I'm gonna have him be on your radio show with you this weekend." And and I'm like, "Okay, man." Like, he's like, "No, I talked to his wife online, and he shows me the conversation, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I feel like Neve on Catfish. I'm just like, well, sir." I was like, and so I broke it down. Like, so another friend was like, "Well, what's your take on it?" I was like, "Well, he's obsessed with this celebrity. His girlfriend is probably like." Why and I think it's the girlfriend. I'd be willing to put money on it's his girlfriend, like just acting like, yeah,
scandalous.
But that's just an outcome that you'd see on Catfish, and maybe maybe I'm just really high.
You've been educated though,
yeah,
you've watched enough of that,
dude.
Shit.
I'm telling you.
So like,
I
was watching one of the hometown. Like I love this dude. I can't think of his name, but he's like this old like chief. He tells all the stories, and there's this one story of they found a woman frozen to the ground in Colorado, and she was right next to her car. Her car was like locked. Didn't look like there was foul play, but she was kind of young. Why was she there? What happened? And then they found that the husband had reported her missing, and then her daughter was also reported missing the same day. So apparently, what happened was. Because they found nobody murdered them. They died on their own. They found the girl 300 yards away from the mom, in the woods, and they found her in the most horrific way. She had a dog with her, and when she died in a way where the leash was still on her arm, and the dog couldn't get away. So eventually, the dog got hungry and started eating her face.
Oh Lord!
So it was fucking horrific. They were just trying to figure out what happened. Did somebody bring these women out and kill them? And first they were kind of like looking at the girl's husband because the girl's husband didn't like her mom or whatever. But anyway, so what happened was they were going to go to the casino. They dressed all up. They didn't have jackets with them. Okay. So they decided to pregame a little bit, and pregaming involved drinking wine coolers and taking Zoloft. Now, I don't know if you know this.
They pass out.
But in Colorado, the elevation that you're in, which was about 9,000 feet above sea level, can disorient you. It can also make alcohol work just like that.
Yeah.
Immediately in your system, even if it's just like wine cooler. So what happened was they got disoriented, lost, probably were bickering. The dog was yelping, and she's like, "Mom, I gotta stop the car. I gotta walk the dog." She goes out to walk the dog, drops the keys, and starts trying to look for the keys because they found like footprints all around her body, thinking it was somebody else. It was her own. The mother got concerned because her daughter hadn't come back to the car yet. Gets out of the car to look for her. The car automatically locks, as most newer cars do.
Oh my God!
So she's locked out of her car. They both have no jackets on there.
Fucking idiots.
Literally dressed to the nines. Meanwhile, it's negative 25 degrees. So what happened is they just
Froze to death.
they just froze it. They hypothermia, went to sleep, and never woke up, and that's how they died.
Damn.
And that's some fucking crazy shit. I figured it out though in the first 5 minutes. I was like, them dumb bitches got locked out of the car and froze to death. That's what happened.
I'm
And
just
I
trying to-
called it because I watched enough of those shows.
I'm still trying to figure out what type of leash this lady got, because my dog would have slipped that shit like fucking hours
Yeah,
ago. He'd be on the highway making new friends.
Yeah.
Hey, dummy's dead. Can I have a ride to town and some Alpo?
Yeah, it was pretty sad. Like I feel more bad for the younger woman's like husband, because like they immediately went to him because he didn't like the mom, but he was like, she's a bad influence, and she was like, they totally lied where they were going. Like she's told her husband that she was going to library, and then the other woman like just didn't say anything at all. So it's like why? It's not like you're
You
having
ain't
an
got to
affair.
lie,
You're
Craig.
you're hanging out with your daughter. Like, what is going on? So yeah, always tell people where you're going, because that shit's wild. Froze to death. But anyway, yeah.
You know why they didn't say anything?
Why's that?
They were part of the cabal. They were going to the annual meeting. That was I think
Dressed to
the
the
year
nines.
of the goat. Yes, that's when they sacrificed the goat. That was the year of the goat. So,
Yeah.
and they paid a heavy price. Did you know their third cousin Eric? You know him?
I have no idea. What
I
you're
know.
talking about.
I'm rambling. I was trying to make up a story, and I need you to respond. Like, no, I don't know him.
Eric, the one with the bum knee.
Yeah, the one you know him. He showed me his pentagram last week, and we're invited to the cabal meeting next year.
Cool.
It's the year of the duck-billed platypus. They will be killing a duck-billed platypus for our Dark Lord. Yes, we are all going to drink it. Come on. How are we supposed to get high?
How are we supposed to get high?
Unless we drink the duck-billed platypus venom.
Fuck the duck-billed
You do have to set it on fire and say a chant before you can drink it.
I'm glad it doesn't get this cold up here.
There-
'cause, yeah, then I could never drink because I'd be disoriented.
Oh yeah, like I got
that's
fucking
kinda
drunk as
wild.
shit. I got drunk as shit 2 different times. Well, one time it was way more drunk. But the first time I went to punk rock bowling, it was this annual thing that like Fat Records and a bunch of other people would do, and they would have various people from different like whether it's record labels or whatever would have teams, and me and Tim and Toddy, TJ had a team. I think it was like I forgot the name of it. How do I forget? It was the name of the team was Horse Tits with Gravy, the bowling team. And the shirts would say like wild ass shit. One of the shirts said Horse Tits with Gravy, the bowling team. But they Tim and TJ would write up this big long thing. It would be like a paragraph of stuff on the back of the shirt intentionally. So when we went to the airport or the bowling thing, people would have to read the back of our shirts. And if you kept reading, it would be like shit like, stop staring at my shirt, you dumb fuck, you shit sucking vampire.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I just didn't know. Like, I knew that like elevation plays part in
Oh,
like the amount of oxygen. Like, it's lower. I always thought it slowed things down.
mm-mm.
I didn't know that it could just like whoop,
Somebody
propel
told
you.
us
A fucking wine cooler. They only drank 2.
somebody told us because we were having a layover and we were flying like to Vegas, and our layover was in Denver, that you got way drunker in Denver. So our boss intentionally let us sit at the bar and he bought everybody drinks. So by the time we got on the plane, it was all over. And then we went up, and then it got even worse because
Oh.
everybody was just like, oh yeah, let's go. There were these drunken Canadians that had like, this dude had like one of those things that they use as the take-home cup from like a Chinese food, like for egg drop soup. He had it like half full of fucking Canadian mist. And he kept talking about the band Arcade Fire. He's like, have you ever heard of the Arcade Fire? They won a Juno. Like, this dude was standing up in the aisle the whole fucking time. He didn't sit. As soon as that seatbelt sign came off, he was like making his rounds, like just talking to people.
That's funny. We're supposed to be going to Colorado, so I'll have to keep that in mind.
Oh,
when,
dude. Fam,
yeah,
we going up there. Brendan, watch out.
we're infiltrating your house.
And your butt.
No.
We're gonna see no effects there. It's gonna be awesome.
No effects. They're like the punk rock Kiss. They're like, this is our last tour.
Yep.
We're adding 5 more stops.
For sure. For sure. I took my my oldest and my middle kid to No Effects last year in Florida. It was great, except my oldest daughter had like one of those fanny packs, and she decided to go like moshing the pit like most young girls do at a punk rock show, and it ripped a hole, and I had my shirt. I bought the fucking like last tour shirt, and it fell out. And when she came back, she was like all elated, like, I had a great time. I was like, what happened to your stuff? And like everything, all the contests, my shirt, her wallet, everything out of it. And then I like
they got
I
moshed.
was not even concerned about like her wallet. I didn't care. I was like, but what about my shirt?
I don't give a fuck about your wallet. Where my shit at?
So sad the whole time. I was so sad. I was like,
that happened to me.
so sad.
That happened to me at the Iron Maiden show at Jiffy Lube like a few years ago. It was like 5 or 6 years ago. Number one, I think it's awesome you told that story because you have the poster for the show right behind you as you're telling
that
the
I
story.
had that between my boobs, so that wasn't going anywhere. That shit was right there. It wasn't going nowhere. Right between my boobs and like that's why it's kind of wrinkled in the middle. Cause yeah.
Oh, that explains. I thought it was a scratch and sniff.
No, it's definitely boob sweat mark right there.
Man.
So
Titty mark.
yeah,
Titty sweat.
but it didn't go nowhere. It was right there.
I had a
Fucking
friend.
fanny packs.
Man, so I had a friend at the Iron Maiden show, and she got hammer time, and I had to fireman carry her out of there, and I had the shirt that I just bought at the merch stand. It was an awesome ass shirt, and I had it tucked into my belt loop, and she, I guess at some point in time, like dislodged it, and I was like, fuck, man. There's nothing worse than losing merch you just got.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
show.
Oh, God.
That also happened at the Run the Jewel show I went to a couple of years ago. The Wu-Tang, not the Wu-Tang, the Rage Against the Machine Run the Jewel show. And my boss and I, now my good friend, we both bought, like, he got a sweatshirt and I got a shirt. And within, I think, 30 minutes, I lost the shirt. And within we know where the sweatshirt is. He left it at my friend Rich's house, a.k.a. Gay Rich. And so we just haven't had a chance to get back from him yet,
Dude. That does suck. Like,
that's a really terrible feeling. 'Cause you're so psyched in the moment of buying an overpriced
Yeah.
item, and then the reality is you don't get to take it home for real.
Yeah, you're like,
Whack.
I don't have the $54. It's gone now. It's bye. No
Yeah.
money, no nothing, no tangible stuff for you.
Nope, nada. You pig. Go to your hole. Shame.
Yeah, that's the first time that something like that where I didn't get it back. We did go to a show this year at what's that place?
which one?
called?
The Atlantis?
Yeah, the Atlantis, and I lost my shirt there too. But some wonderful Samaritan
Yeah, people are.
I must have found it and folded it and put it on the table that was where I was standing. And I'm like, oh, there it is. And I grabbed it and scurried away like a little hermit crab. Like, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nah,
thank you, Good Samaritan, for not stealing my shirt.
never had anything stolen. I had a Flogging Molly print that just got ruined because it was from Warped Tour and it was the middle of summer. So that shit just got sweated on by everybody. It just became like absolutely nothing but nasty.
Yeah.
I still hung it up on my wall.
Like these festivals, man, like they have to. So I don't know if you guys have gone to like shows, but like shows where you can't bring shit in. Lately, it's gotten ridiculous to the point where now a woman can't bring a purse that's like bigger than this, and it's got to be clear, or it's got to be this or that. And I'm like, what the fuck am I possibly going to be? I can't even fit my phone in that kind of like wallet or purse. So like, it's
Like, how much do they check people at the monument when you were there? Like, was it like a pretty thorough check, or was it just pat down or metal wand?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, they had a wand, I think, but it was pretty lax, to be real. Yeah, we didn't really. no, we didn't really go through. We didn't go through like they'd look inside of people's purses, but they didn't really like they had the big chopstick. You know, they'd just be like, you know, it wasn't like they'd really be looking for it. Basically, they were only thing they were looking for were hypodermic needles and guns. Straight up, that's the only thing they're really looking for. They don't really give a fuck anything past that. Like,
who the fuck walks around? Maybe this me being naive, and me like not really looking into shit. But who walks around with needles? Like, is
junkies.
that? Well, like, yeah, but I can't see a junkie. Like, I've never like spare somebody being like a crackhead. If you said somebody was a crackhead, I could pick them out of a lineup. But somebody that uses Heron, I couldn't pull. Because for instance, there was a person that I knew of or knew from Manassas, and she was a rather large person, and she, unfortunately passed away due to that fucking bullshit. She would have never struck me just because she was a larger person. Usually maybe in this is just perceptions that they show on TV or in the chic version of what we were told heroin was like a skinny person with gaunt cheeks and shit like that.
That's true. I mean, we've both had a mutual friend that also passed away from the same thing. Like he was a pretty tall dude, pretty big. Now the funny thing is, the last time I had seen him was at a NoFX show, and then he passed away maybe a few weeks after that. But he didn't look like I would have never guessed it at all.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he had a problem. So.
Yeah, I guess maybe it is unfortunate with this the fentanyl thing that they say that's a large problem with any powdered drug now is there were certain groups that were for some reason, I don't know why, but cutting other powdered substances with fentanyl, and I don't understand why you would do that. As just if your product is something, no matter what it is, whether it's a type of food or a car, if it starts just killing people a lot, they're probably you're not gonna have that on the market anymore because for two reasons: A, you're very liable, and B, you're killing your own
your own clientele.
Yeah, your clientele, your source of money. You're not gonna get repeat customers or new customers with that.
But yet people still run to it. I think mostly it's because you don't need a lot of it. So
yeah,
I don't know enough
it's
about.
It's a great alternative because you don't need. You buy what you need, and then you just take a little bit of it. It lasts longer than.
Yeah, I'm very naive about opiates. I don't other than somebody taking a pill. There is, and I'm sure there's people that are fucking Rush Limbaugh fucking lost his hearing or some shit because he was doing so many goddamn oxycontin, and he's just as much of an addict as a person that's shooting up heroin. It's the same. They're both opiate addicts, but I don't understand the allure of it. Maybe that's just because it was by the time we were in high school, it was Kurt Cobain, all that shit.
Yeah.
You kind of associated with no, that shit's bad.
Yeah. You look like weed. You can understand why people got into weed 'cause it's tight.
Yeah.
Weed is tight, and it's fun, and people are you're driving around having a good time with your friends and smoking weed.
Even people that do not smoke weed understand why people would smoke weed because they have maybe once or twice. They're oh yeah, I giggled and ate ice cream.
Yeah, you're having a good time, but then it's heroin. Just the end of that. I can count on I think no hands how many times the end of that story is a positive one. It's hey, I did a bunch of heroin and I did something really great.
The only way
the
only way you could possibly be a heroin addict and it be a lifestyle that you can maintain and be very safe would be if you were somebody like Keith Richards. He's the only person that comes off the top of my head to be that's a functioning heroin addict. But he's a very, very Hunter S. Thompson. People like that, because they're so independent from everything else, probably do a lot more effort in making sure that they're getting stuff that's what it's supposed to be. They're not just at a random place getting it because they need it, and they're if you don't have to worry about your source, I guess.
Right. And they're surrounded by people that give a fuck, so they're not alone. I think that's another issue is that a lot of people end up being alone. I had a good friend in Florida um, who passed away. He had actually stopped doing it for a while, and I think the issue was that something triggered him where he felt like he needed to go uh, score, and he ended up taking the same dosage that he had a year prior, and unfortunately, his body wasn't used to that, so he overdosed because of it. So I think a lot of the times the overdose is caused
Yeah.
by people who do quit for a time being, but then they relapse and they're taking the same dosage that they did when they quit, and it's just too much.
Yeah, that's what happened to Bradley Knoll from Sublime. He hadn't used it in a while. They got on a tour stop, and he did some, and he just did too much.
Yeah.
Um, I also think it's very negligent if you are a person that deals in that trade to not, for better or worse, like have that tested. I don't know if you're like how you would, if you're dealing in a legal trade. I don't think there's a place where like test this heroin for me, but there's probably a way you can tell. Maybe have an experienced addict like take a tiny bit of it and be like,
No, there's kits out there. I do know
yeah,
that
yeah.
like most festivals when I was promoting for Buzz, I know that they just started coming out with something that could test it and it would turn like a certain color, whatever. And you can test your drugs to make sure that they were safe. Um,
They were boofable.
I don't know how
Yeah.
far that's come along because obviously that was
I wanted
years
to know
and
if my
years
triple
ago for
stack
me.
Mitsubishi was real or
Yeah.
not just 90% heroin.
Oh, the old triple stack Mitsubishi.
Dude, I took an ecstasy
the
pill
Loch Ness monster of the ecstasy world.
when I was younger. Like, it might have been that place. I don't know what club it was at, but one of our friends was like, "I'm gonna get these, and we're all gonna do one." So like he gets them and does it. And I remember we were going down like one of the I think we were coming off of 495 on the 66. This motherfucker got the car up on two wheels, and my arm was hanging out the window. And I had taken ecstasy before, and I just remember looking at my arm, and we were about to tip, and I could have brought my arm in, but I was like, I don't even care. And I was like, this pill is definitely a lot of heroin. What the fuck? It's like, I was like, it was an experience, but I didn't want to ever feel like that again. Like, I was like, this is not. I don't feel really happy right now.
No, you're supposed to be happy and energetic.
Yeah.
So,
My arm in, it was what should have happened, but
yeah,
thank God he didn't roll the car.
right.
He also
right.
there was a Exxon at the end of that street, and somebody, you've met this guy, B Moore's older brother, hit a car, and the dude, whose car he hit, takes his head out the window, looks back, and he's like, "It's okay," puts it in reverse and gets on the highway.
Oh my God.
I was like, bro, this is not the area to be doing that. That could have been real bad.
That's terrible.
But yeah.
Them were the days.
Yeah, when you could pay a crackhead $20 to watch your car all night.
Yeah, I've definitely done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
I miss Nation. I miss all the different like parties. Buzz was cool, but like my jam was Alchemy. I'm definitely a goth princess. I would hang out there all the time. Like that was my whole shit. And they had break beats, at the top floor, so that was awesome. Miss those days. And of course, like Secrets down the road. I don't know if anybody, I don't know if you fine gentlemen, have ever been to Secrets, but it's definitely a gay club. And they definitely had a drag show, and I would go there. I had a friend who stripped during his college years. He'd be making them gay men's all frisky and shit, and then after his like thing, he would get off work and he'd be like, "Let's go look at the drag show," and yeah, we'd go see the drag show. It was pretty fucking cool. Very some of them are like you would never know. Absolutely like amazing in their outfit and the makeup and their shtick. They're either singing or doing like burlesque type shows or playing an instrument, whatever. It was awesome. Good times. I miss Secrets too. That whole area is like nothing but like concrete now, like apartments and business buildings, and it makes me sad. What are you playing?
It's raining, man.
Oh yeah, it's raining, man. Oh my god! Shout out to Velvet Nation. Fucking Velvet.
Yeah.
Shout out all them dicks.
I know we had gone to there was some club, and right next to it was a gay club, and we had come out of the one club, and like the girls needed to like use a phone, and they didn't have one in the other club, so and we knew it was a gay club. We're like, we're not going in there, and they go in there, and they come out like not like distressed, but they were like, there was just a wall of gay porn playing. Like we were like, we knew it, we knew it was gonna be like we're dudes. Like,
There's nothing wrong with that.
no, it's just if you had a place where only dudes would go, of course there's gonna be.
Oh yeah, you're going to get approached.
Yeah,
Dude,
But for me, as like a female, especially if like
it's more comforting. You're
I
not getting
wanted,
out.
yeah, like if I wanted to just dance and I wanted to be left alone, I didn't want anybody to fuck with me.
Yeah.
Go to the fucking
Makes
gay
sense.
club.
Dudes are dickheads.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like if you don't want to be pursued, like by a bunch of dudes, like, hey, I got this penis. You want to see?
Oh yeah.
Hey, you like dick?
Hey, guess what? I have
got-
one.
There's some penises over here. Dude, when I worked in DuPont Circle, there was several types of gay clubs, and you had one of them. There was like the Fireplace, which is still there, which was like kind of like the homo thug spot, and like then you had this other one. Apex was I think it was like a biker lesbian bar, from what I understand. And then there was Club Omega. And Club Omega, yeah, Club Omega was literally in an alley. It was a back alley gay club in DuPont Circle. But the people going in and out it wasn't like Queens. It was like your gym teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Guess what?
Yeah.
I'm Herschel and I like dick.
Yeah, I'm into consensual penis having.
Hey, you want to fraught?
You want to just roll your foreskin over mine? But that was a place that we went. I put my head in one time ever because it was right by where we parked our car. So I was like,
I gotta see.
I'm walking with like my homie. He's a big gay dude, and he was like, I was like, man, what goes on in there? He's like, you want to see? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's look in. I'm not, whatever. I'm not gonna be phased by it. And we looked in there, and it was wild. We went in and like had a beer, and I one beer and got out because to be real. It wasn't like I'm not against it. It's just like I feel like I'd be false advertising because if you were in that place,
you're gonna get approached.
Yeah. Well, dudes are trying. It's
this
dudes.
place. And it was
dudes.
just gay porn. They had projectors.
Yeah.
There's like that, and they were like moving like so. There was everywhere you looked. It was like just schwanz on schwanz, just everywhere.
It
just
makes sense. Like
dong everywhere, and it was an experience to be had. I'm glad that I did it. To know that I'm all the way straight. Like I was like, yep. I was like, there's just no interest in here for me, and this is as like hyper sexualized as it gets. And if this doesn't excite me, then nothing is.
What if a dude walked up and you'd ordered like a Jack and Coke and he was stirring it with his dick? He was like, "This is how we do things here."
Like,
well,
keep it going.
like,
you got one of those non-dicked?
I think this is one of those egg sodas, egg creams. This is one of those egg creams.
Oh, that shit would be next level.
Yeah, I remember there was that. Speaking of Fox 5, remember when Fox 5 used to be like the king of exposés?
Oh yeah,
and they had the one where it shows the bartender and he stirs the drink. It was back before the internet, so like this is back when like these types of videos when they came out,
they were
like,
shocking.
Yeah, and they had the guy
shocking footage.
He stirs, and they show him stir the martini with his dick underneath the bar. Yeah, I remember being like 11 years old and being like, that's the best thing I've ever seen on television. That, and you remember what else they did? They did two. I remember Fox doing two. They had two events on TV that I can recall that were amazing. One was the celebrity boxing.
Oh,
Do you remember when it was Manute Bol versus the Refrigerator? China versus Tommy Buttafuoco versus China.
There was
and he spit on her, dude.
Tanya Harding falls.
Tanya Harding. And then there was another crazy ass matchup.
Todd Bridges versus
was it Danny Bottaducci?
Might have been.
Yeah, I think it was. It was Todd Bridges and Danny Bottaducci whooped that ass, dude. I remember Danny Bonaducci was in a few celebrity boxing matches.
That's because gingers
and
don't
that
feel
motherfucker,
pain the same way.
Yeah, he trains like he like legit trains. Like that was like kind of a setup, man. Like, but yeah, they had I remember the Manute Bol versus the Fridge was intense because Manute Bol ended up beating his ass too, man.
And he's
like,
got range.
Man, but the Joey Buttafuoco, he does like he fights dirty as shit and he like does this shove move and he throws her down and then he steps over and spits while he's looking back. And yeah, it was like just totally.
I'm not surprised by any of that.
I've never heard of the celebrity fighting.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, it was back in the early like mid '90s.
I think it was like '95.
Yeah,
like it was. But there was also. Remember when they did the Glutton Bowl?
Oh, they did all kinds of
Glutton
stuff.
Bowl, and they had like it was like just fantastic feats of eating, and they had like the sushi roll that was like it was like an 8-foot sushi roll, and then in the middle there was one segment that was just a straight log of wasabi. And so when the people would get there, it'd be like you'd watch them because they'd be eating it, they'd be like gulp, 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 like, like.
Dude, that is so fucking terrible. Yeah, like when did Fox stop being just trash TV? And
that's
like
when
it started
things fell off.
Yeah, like it's when it first started, the flagship shows were they had Cops was a big one for them, but that was on like Fridays or some shit. So, but Sundays was always Married with Children and Simpsons.
You had Simpsons. You had Get a Life. That was Get a Life was on.
And Parker
there.
Lewis Can't
Parker
Lose.
Lewis Can't Lose. Yeah, Kubiak Attack. Man, what else? Synchronized Swatches.
And then they hit the mid '90s black series.
Yeah, they had Living Single.
Living Single with the greatest fucking single in the '90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girls. Keep your head up.
Yeah, boy. Man.
Oh, dude.
What else? They had Martin.
Martin
in his entirety is right now on Netflix. By the way, and I'm a huge Martin fan.
What show used to come on after those two shows? That's how I can know.
In Living Color?
No. Nope. This was during the middle of the week.
Oh, was it Rock?
Nope. That was on Sundays. God, I can't believe I remember this shit.
Color. Like I loved that show.
Because Rock
Don't
came.
say, man.
Oh,
was it PJs?
Nope. It's gonna be a pull. It was New York Undercover.
Oh my god, dude! Oh wow, yeah. What was the Spanish
Malik?
name?
I don't know I know the Malik Yoba. I think was the black cop, but I don't know the Puerto Rican
dude.
cop.
Yeah, man.
But that shit was like it was just Black Law and Order.
It was amazing, man. That Puerto Rican dude gave a lot of white guys hope that we could be, that we were gonna be cool as shit too, man. Fuck, I remember that, dude. That was like, oh, look.
That show was so good because it was perfect. They had like two like very good comedy shows that were like sort of lighthearted, like sitcoms, and then they were like, this week on New York Undercover, he finds a fucking underage prostitute ring. Like everything would be in alleys with dumpsters. Like it's like they filmed everything from different alleys.
That's how they kept the production value
switch
down.
Over like that.
It was like a little bit after. Like it might have been after In Living Color started getting popular. They had more black TV shows.
Do you remember when
it was probably to compete with a different world.
Do you remember when they used to do cool shit when they'd have like the event TV show or the event movies, like when they did Revenge of the Nerds 4, they did it in Smell-O-Vision. And you went to 7-Eleven and you had the cards, and then it would tell you when to scratch the card during the thing.
Yeah,
it'd be
the smells were fucking repulsive.
Yeah, they were all the same. It was all just pubes.
All this whack shit. When we were younger, remember you could get fucking like Slurpees, and Big Gulp Cups would have like little things in the bottom that you could take off. It'd be like a baseball card or something. They just stopped doing that shit. Like in the 80s, we had better packaging. We whipped y'all's ass with packaging.
Oh, we are the apex predators of the consumer like kingdom.
Oh yeah.
We have
every
like
cartoon.
80s and 90s.
Things were brighter.
Yeah, things were thicker.
Well,
toys were metal.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
back when it meant something, you know.
Well, like it was. Yeah, everything was commercial. Because think about it. Like all the cartoons were just advertising for a toy. Like everything.
Shit. Remember when Mac and Me came out? That was a flat out McDonald's.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. But if you watch it now, you'll be like, I'm watching
McDonald's
a McDonald's
ET.
commercial. Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, they had the Mac and Me. It was Yeah, dude. There were so many.
damn.
Though, dude, remember My Pet Monster?
Yeah.
Dude, My Pet Monster
String
was
chains.
by far like the coolest toy for a fucking kid. I never got one, man, for some reason, man. But I remember they made the My Pet Monster movie, and that was the shit. The kid becomes the My Pet Monster, because whatever, he gets like the curse put on him or some shit.
Oh.
That was amazing. Do you remember also when the My Pet Monster Adidas came out with a My Pet Monster Adidas shoe, and it got taken off, like it got canceled because it had a broken shackle on it, and so everybody took it as being my buddy. Yeah, but my buddy was the premise for Child's Play.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And Kid's Sister.
Kid's Sister and Me.
Yeah,
Dude, it looks like
Yeah, it does.
it definitely.
They
yeah, it looks like Chuggy.
Here's one for Lita.
For Lita, that was
I
for
love
me,
it.
man.
Jim is my
I
name.
mean,
I had the doll that had like glow earrings and. her
Kelly's
pink
having a slumber
hair.
party with all her friends.
I
There,
fucking love it.
I'm gonna be tucking my wiener and dancing to Gem tonight at
Like,
the crib.
I'm Jim.
Jim
Would
is
you
my
gem me?
name.
Would you Jim me? I
I'd
Jim
gem
me
you.
hard. I Jim me
That's
so
that.
hard.
That's now Lita's in my world, in my universe.
Yep.
That song is now, and that scene is attached to Lita.
Yep.
She,
It's my new supervillain theme song.
Did I send it to you? The Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Did I send you the Freddy Krueger of it?
no.
Oh yeah, I sent it to her.
Lord.
I sent it to her. Yeah, it's like,
No,
dude,
that's
it's amazing, dude.
Would you fuck me?
Oh man.
Oh God, dude. Now they've added all the
Nightmare on Elm Streets are on
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix right
Saw
now.
it the other day. I was like, oh shit, Dream Warriors. Going to sleep
Yeah.
watching this.
Dude, but fuck Dream Warriors. It's all about the gay one.
Nah.
Yeah, I love
It's
that
all the
one.
gay
That
gay
is-
one is
that
the
is
gay
hands
one.
down my favorite fucking.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
just
it
it's
just
great.
makes-
it makes
fantastic
sense.
writing. It's
Yeah, that
it's
movie's good and
wonderful.
all, but the first titties I ever saw was in Dream Warriors, so it's a classic. That movie's great as fuck.
Ooh. I think the
But
first-
it automatically it almost ruined titties for me because
Fast
right when
Times
you
at-
see the titties, he gets killed and it's
Mhm.
Freddy. It's like, oh, this is Freddy titties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like back
the
then,
second
like I
one-
was watching like pretty bad movies, so
Fast Times at
Titties
Ridgemont
were just
High.
titties.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High was the first boobs I can remember seeing on camera.
Yeah, like outside of like National Geographic. Like,
Ooh,
and
back
those
in
aren't
the-
good. Those aren't quality.
What do you mean those aren't quality? Those are amazing. Those women have music. Those breasts.
They got ashy titties, man.
Yeah, those things can be used as like as weapons, man. Like you could like.
No, like it like you don't. Maybe I just wasn't old enough. Like, because when you hit like when slasher movies started coming out, it was like, oh, girls be taking off their shirts in these. Like
Yeah.
that. Slashers is the only like real other than like B movie. It's like the horror genre where you know like there's somebody's gonna have a titty out and get killed. They're gonna get stabbed in their titty. Like I wasn't at no point when I was watching like Hereditary I was like, there's gonna be titties. in this. Like,
yeah,
nah.
that's
I was
definitely
like,
one of those movies.
I was like, hi, why? What? Stop headbutting the desk, bro.
Oh, dude, that shit like freaked me out. His face all like.
The other day, somebody, it's
Freaks me out.
the lady that takes pictures. She actually took that picture of Lily, like fucking somebody up. Like she's a photographer. She does stuff for like the Olympics and all kinds of other stuff. And she's taking pictures at her gym. And I saw her on her Facebook. Right, like it was a scene from Hereditary where fucking Toni Collette is like yelling at her son. And like Baba, like because of that, like it was just somebody yelling, and it seemed like a dramatic scene. She was like, "I've heard a lot about this movie being good. Should I watch it?" And somebody, well,
Abso-fucking-lutely.
she's a younger black chick, and like I don't think she watches horror movies as much. And so somebody immediately was like, "Oh no, this movie is one of my favorites," but like I remember. I told somebody else about the movie, my friend Jose at my last job, and he went and watched it, and he was like, "Yo, that scene where she's like."
Yep.
And I knew exactly what he was
That
talking
shit
about.
freaked me. Honestly, that movie.
Her hair pop on.
The I was watching it with my family, my nieces. They had seen it already. They loved it, and they were like, "You should watch it. You should." So we sat there, lights out. The part that freaked me out was when the son wakes up,
Oh, and
and
people
he
naked.
and no, he wakes up. The house is dead quiet. and he's like, "Where's my mom? Where's my dad?" Like everything's a little quiet, and he sits up in his bed, and you can see his mom on the fucking ceiling.
Oh,
Like
yes.
you just see her shadow, and she skitters, and I audibly screamed because like I wasn't expecting it, and it just caught my eye, and I was like, "Oh Jesus!" Like fucking crazy.
It's a different
And
thing.
after that part, it just gets
Yeah,
even
that
worse.
movie is a lot more like psychologically scary. I do remember the only scene in a movie where I heard the whole audience gasp, and I thought I was going to hear somebody puke. Is that scene in Hostel where her eyeball's all burned up, and he holds it and then cuts it, and then that little bit of pus comes out.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, like I heard, like,
Yeah.
like, the entire
all of
audience.
all of those
Yeah.
movies, all the Hostel movies are good, and like 'cause I've always like romanticized like traveling the world and being able to stay at a hostel, and that movie
Eli ruined
definitely
it.
kind of scared me away from ever doing that,
You know-
ever.
You know what movie like almost ruined the entirety of Europe for me? The Golden Glove.
Oh yeah,
It's
that
just-
actually happened in my mom's hometown.
Yeah, well, like it just like
She was a little kid when that
beyond-
happened.
It just looks they all dirty. Like ain't one clean person. It's like water doesn't exist in this country. They're all
But
greasy
like,
looking.
He was kind of like gross.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy was kind of gross.
So like it's
anyway.
about some guy that ends up like killing like
Yeah.
like a bunch of like older women or women that are a little bit older than him.
I gotta
and-
look up his name now so that
and-
there's context for.
And in
for
the end,
Chris.
he like he like ends up like putting them in different places in his house, and like he's like pouring stuff on it to make it not stink, but people are like it smells. And then like yeah, like but he definitely comes home at the end of or like comes near his house at the end of the movie, and the police have gone into his house.
Yeah.
And
So
they're like,
the movie's basically it's this true story about the serial killer Fritz Honka, and he would go to the bar, he get like he was like a massive alcoholic, get super drunk, bring a prostitute home, have sex with her, and then like either black out and then kill him, or just go into a rage and kill him and stuff him in his like little like space.
cupboards almost.
Because most of the flats in Europe have
Yeah.
like they don't have like a storage closet, but there's like a low space that you can just tuck stuff in, and that's what he was doing. He was just putting the bodies there and putting the board back up, and eventually the smell was so intense that
You were like, yo.
yeah, like what is
dog,
going
what are you
on?
doing?
Like what the hell?
You got dead bodies in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That'd be the worst.
dude.
Your upstairs neighbor just shoving people.
right.
Dude, we had these neighbors when we lived in Reston. We lived in like this kind of hood, and we had squatters that lived in the apartment downstairs from us.
Oh man.
And they were squatting, so they didn't have anything like going on. And dude, roaches, they caused so much roach problems in there. But man, I remember one time, man, like they opened the door to the place, and like it was just the stankiest thing ever. We'd like a couple times, man, like I would just straight up like take their kids upstairs to our apartment and just be like, yo, y'all need to eat and chill here for a minute. Like this is
dude,
fuck like
That's
what,
horse shit.
What? Yeah, and I remember it just being like, and now that I look back on it, now I'm thinking, I'm like, man, maybe they had some fucking bodies up in there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, because
You
now
never
You don't
know.
Yeah, you don't know
well,
what people
you
are
know,
doing.
well, you don't think it could happen, right? You never think it happened, but man, with the amount of TV shows, with the amount of programming coming out, that's really let me know that there's a whole lot of killing and raping going on out there.
Yeah.
Especially in
whole
New
lot of
York,
raping.
apparently, yeah. Especially in New York, it's like New York, according to Dick Wolf, New
Well, it's
York
just-
is the spot to get raped and killed at.
Oh, dude, like I don't know. So they say they take them from the headlines, but I think it's like the overall like headlines of all time across the at least the U.S. They probably include Canada, but a lot of those crimes probably don't always take place in New York. But I know in the 80s they talked about how Rikers was really bad, and I don't know if that was because there were so many people there, but I remember when we were younger, Times Square was not a spot you went as a family. It wasn't like a
Nah,
tourist
dude.
trap. It was where like you could get like
Slap
drugs.
job for $10.
Yeah, like you could get like
Slap
drugs.
job.
You get a hand job. You get
Hand
whatever you needed there.
jobs.
And then when I went the first time, the actual inside area of Times Square, like where it was like super nice now, was like restaurants and like there wasn't peep shows, but a block off, like
There's a
regular
Red Lobster
shitty
there now.
hotels, hookers. Like when we left, we parked our car near Times Square. We walked to a hotel we were trying to get to. It was like 2 blocks over from Times Square. By the time we got to that second block, there was a hooker following us. She followed us into the hotel, and it was like 5 dudes and a chick. And like we walked in there, and she was standing behind my friend and reached around and grabbed his balls, and he farted in her face so bad that it stunk up the entire fucking lobby, so we couldn't stay at the hotel. But yeah, aggressive hookers 2 blocks off Times Square. Now, if you 2 blocks off of Times Square, that's like fucking still bright and lit up. There's fucking like a Starbucks. There's no peep shows. Like the first time I went there, like there was all kinds of peep shows, like everywhere. It was like, triple X, like none of that shit.
Maybe that's why violence has gotten bad because
You
no
can't
one's
get
getting
off.
off their jollies. So
Well, I think
they're
a
all
lot
like
of it.
tense.
No, everybody's they're all getting their rape
all
on,
tense.
dog.
No, I think
They're all tense.
a lot of the uptick in crime that is happening is more due to the fact that people aren't getting locked up. I don't know if it's because of overcrowding, but people seem to get let out of jail easier now in certain places, and those certain places are the places that are having uptick in like either people doing shit bad again, recidivism, and I think it's probably that. And some people think that they're not going to get in trouble, or if they get in trouble, they're going to get out quicker.
Right.
I don't think we should like lock everybody up, but if people are walking around like, i.e., like punching people or doing more violent crimes, it's probably better to put them away rather than targeting people that are doing drugs or whatever.
I think another issue is like the mental health. Like
Oh
plays
yeah,
into
yeah,
it. Like,
untreated mental
they
health.
don't want to throw those type of people in just a regular.
No, they should have government places to help people, because like not everybody who has like a mental health issue that is bad is going to permanently be like that. So we like just like how we have social safety nets for anything. Should probably have one for mental health. And I'm not saying we should go back to the way it was when Reagan decommissioned all of them, because they were substandard things, and the thought process of people trying to, like, I don't know, like whether you say save money or just like not trying to spend that money anymore. They're gonna look for a reason if they're inefficient and private sector can do it better. Like, people are gonna push it off on the private sector, which isn't gonna do anything. That's not gonna benefit them. They're not gonna do things that like aren't cost effective, but are going to be more effective in the long run to help that person out. And I think the state probably could do that and mitigate a lot of people's health problems, i.e., giving them drugs for free, because that is a deterrent for a lot of people that have mental imbalances to hold a job and be able to get these drugs. If they had a place where they could go, then there wouldn't be a lot of raving, crazy homeless people. It would be people that are medicated and trying to get back on their feet.
Yeah.
Which it makes society safer if we have less people like running through traffic and yelling at inanimate objects because they're medicated. Then there are people that can hold down jobs because they're not seeing like a demon in the corner.
Right. Remember that naked dude on 28? I remember that story. The naked guy on 28.
Remember,
Crazy.
like if you go into any big city, you see like something that's like, I guess probably a version of mental health illness, like people that are like the sidewalks preachers, where they're like a lot of times people with a bullhorn preaching on the street. Also, if you look at their suit, it's not like cinched up; it's kind of loose around the collar. They're a little bit disheveled.
Yeah.
The end is nigh.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's people like that out here in Front Royal. I've seen a dude like not, I don't want to say the end is near, but like repent of your sins.
Yeah.
I've always thought like, I don't know what happened. Like what is the reasoning for them? I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, but that's the way that they want to apostatize their religion.
Butt plugs.
Butt plugs.
Butt plugs.
Signature butt, dude. I don't know if this exists, and I don't want to look it up. Do they have
Yes.
like, you know how they have like those?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
If you can think
Yeah,
it,
if you can think it's there.
done.
Yeah, it's there.
So you know how they have those like belt buckles that say like stuff that like looks like words and they'll stroll across. I wonder if they got butt plugs that like
Yes.
Oh,
like
they
that.
definitely have that.
And they
yeah.
say like butt plug.
They definitely have like glowy type They have it all.
Yeah. What if
They have
somebody?
it.
What if somebody puts one in, forget they turn their light on, and they see it through their pants?
They have a subwoofer attachment.
Bloop, bloop.
They have a subwoofer attachment for earbuds for it. You put it in your butt. Just dong.
Yep.
It's
They have
your-
it all.
Like
They
a
have
butt
ones
shot
that have
collar.
apps, and you can like you can literally like have your lover put it in, and then you can like fuck with them all day with the app, just like vibrating butt plugs. Yep.
That'd be terrible if you turn it on and then your phone died.
You stuck. I'm sorry. You gotta wait till this charger dies.
Happens while you're in a meeting. I was like, did we hear that humming?
You're on the bus.
I heard
It's like in
nothing.
public place. It's like.
Nothing.
You gotta clench your cheeks so it doesn't rattle in the chair.
Yeah, just make sure you.
I call
Ting, ting.
couch.
Yeah, if you're on one, what if you're on one of those little metal chairs? It's like ting,
Yeah.
ting, 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 ting.
Oh my god, I'll never get that sound out of my head. 'Cause I know exactly, like it's happened before. Like sometimes,
Ping.
sometimes you drop your toy and it goes rattling across a hard surface, and it's like clank, 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 and you're like, oh shit.
Get it? It's like you're
It's getting
chasing.
away.
It's like when you're chasing a piece of paper in the fucking wind. You're chasing your dildo in the bathroom.
Oh god.
Oh god.
All right. Dildos.
So,
What the dildo?
Chris, when are you performing next?
Let's see. I'll be doing some jokes this Monday at Catamount Lounge as well as on cue. I was supposed to be doing a gig or I was going to be doing a little spot at the at El Rey filling station on the 17th, but that has been postponed. Or they're doing their show. But they put my green ass got shoved off until the 8th of May. So I'll be doing a show there on the 8th of May, and then May 24th at Pavement, and then hopefully a few other gigs here and there in between. But I'll be Monday nights at the Catamount Lounge, and then also be working on a YouTube show, which we'll be shooting our first episode on Tuesday coming up. That's with my homie Rachel, Phil Mesger, Hamilton Millsap, Smith Jones, Rodriguez, Polanski, whatever, whatever. How many more last names I know? I know you're listening, Rachel. That's why I'll bust your balls, dog. Yeah, that's it, man. What's going on with you guys? Anything cool?
Lita.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just waiting for Front Royal Commerce to actually give me the details, but I have my I finally got my little thing for my phone, the little card slidey thing, the square. I'm so excited about it because I've never ordered one. So if you do hit me up on May 18th at the festival, you can now pay with card. I'm like tech savvy. I'm getting my banner, so I'm just waiting on them to give me word where I'm going to be positioned along the little line around Main Street. I believe it's Main Street and then like some of the side streets where vendors will be able to set their tables and stuff up. So
What's your
definitely come see me. You can check out Instagram right now. It is that is odd, all underscored. I also have a regular page that is Alola on Loan, but most of my art stuff is on that is odd. You can definitely hit me up on my booth. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff, wearables, strange art. I have some paintings that I'm gonna be getting rid of, and I am working on a beautiful mannequin sculpture, like garden sculpture thing. So if you so choose to have that in your life, she's going to be pricey, but she's going to be beautiful. So definitely hit me up May 18th at the Wine and Craft Festival here in Front Royal. It's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah. So go over to Helltown Radio. Subscribe. Go over to they have the Dirtbag Radio. You can click on that. Everything's there. Just type in Helltown Radio. Look it up. It's the only one. It'll be there. You'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it. We'll have an enjoy fest. Also, yo, I'm gonna brag again. My kid got into the Beast of the East tournament. This is one of the precursors to the Olympic trials. Bow! I don't want to pay for college. Keep doing that shit. I'm very excited. Very excited. I'm very excited, people. Very excited.
He's got a boner.
I got the sweats. I got meat sweats. All right. So yeah, suplex your week. Have fun. Don't look in the sun unless you want to. Go blind. I don't give a fuck. Do what you want.
I did, and I'm totally fine.
She's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Chris,
Smith.
you stare at the sun?
You know, my grandmother used to tell me that that's actually good for you to do it every once in a while. So
Yeah.
So stare at the sun, children.
It's like an instant
Do
boost
it.
of vitamin D.
Yeah.
vitamin
Vitamin
D.
D's nuts on your chin. All right. Yeah, I don't have too much to say. Yeah, when you're getting your heel hooks, you have to get Ashigarami first. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll fight a midget. I'll fight him. And a Forest Goose. Same time. For the title. Holla at your boy, all promoters. I don't care if this Forest Goose has got war paint on. I'll do it.